With me today is Mesha Coleman. She's going to be talking about her book, A Big Girl's Blues. And Mesha, what prompted you to write this particular book?
Actually, I went to a poetry event, and one of the poets there, her name was Georgia Mee. She talked about being just an oversized woman, just doing daily activities, grocery shopping, buying clothes. And after reading that book, after hearing her poem, it really touched me. And I went home, and the next day I wrote the play. And I wrote a play within probably 2 days. And a friend of mine was thinking about writing a book, and she was stuck with the book, so I told her, I said, well, I have a play I can let you read. It might help you out. And after she read the play, she's a huge reader. Her home looks like this library. And she said, this has to be a book, Mesha. This has to be a book. And from that point on, I just looked into publishing, and here we are today with the book in your hand.
So now, did you base the characters in the book on people that you knew? I mean, obviously part of it is from the poet, but...
I think some of the characters are similar to people. I've found that people that I've just met say, is this me in this book? You know, and I'm like, I wrote that book in 2004. No, that's not you. But I think I pulled qualities and characteristics from several people. And also there's a lot of me in the book as well. Just being a woman and having insecurities, but, you know, knowing deep down inside you have a purpose and a dream, and not letting those insecurities get in the way of pursuing those dreams.
Well, certainly that's the problem of being overweight in a world that's made for people that, you know, have 17-inch waist or something is a real tricky one. So did you call on your knowledge of people with this problem, or was this something that you sort of tied your insecurities to theirs?
It actually tied some of my insecurities into the book, the main character, Jasmine. And then there's like different people that you'll see on TV that may not be the picturesque woman, but are very confident and very successful, and, you know, really at one with who they are. And I kind of drew from that as well. And then being in corporate America, you actually see, there was a study recently done that if you're more beautiful, did you make more money than a person that is not as beautiful? So it's really, you know, something that's kind of woven into our society, and I thought it would be interesting to bring that out. And then I also wanted to touch with young girls that are dealing with bulimia and anorexia in school, because they want to look like those video queens or look like the magazine covers. And I wanted them to know too that you don't have to look this way. You're your person who God created you to be, and from that person you can accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. So I kind of just pulled from all different directions to create the characters and create the storyline.
And you said you wrote the play in 2 days. Obviously you had a lot of characters. Did you create a plot outline and then fill in the blanks?
I actually had no idea of writing plays. I'm a big poet writer. I write all kind of poetry. I'm the one that they call on and say, could you write something for my parents' 50th anniversary? So when the play came to me, it was more like a vision. It was like a movie. And I just started with names, and the names were even just already given to me, and I kind of just wrote from the names and kind of organized it in a way, and then I sent it out to some of my friends to read, and they were like, this should be a book. But a play was a bit easier because you have the actresses and actors being able to put more into the characters, so you didn't have to use as much description. But for the book, it was definitely different in using using more description and using more detail. So it was a big transition, a hard transition, but, you know, one that we made, and I think we've been pretty successful so far.
Well, you said that there are a number of eye-opening events that caused Jasmine to change her mind about herself. What were some of those events?
I think one of the first events was Jasmine's in corporate America, and she's been in the same company for several years. And she should have had many promotions, but because of her insecurities, she never applies for any of the promotions, even with the urging of her boss and the urging of other people within the company. So that was one of the things. She was passed over for another promotion, and so that kind of opened her eyes. One of her best friends is an overweight woman, but very confident, and who she is. And she actually gets sick unexpectedly with things that have to do with your weight, like with diabetes and, you know, a heart attack and, you know, things of that sort. And that kind of opens Jasmine's eyes. And then one of the other things, which deals with the teenagers, Jasmine didn't realize that she was kind of putting her insecurities onto her daughter. And because of that, her daughter experiences bulimia, anorexia, and so she discovers that, and her daughter tells her, you know, I'm doing this because you keep telling me I shouldn't be like you. And so that was a few of the events that happened in the book that kind of opened her eyes to understanding that it's more about being healthy and being happy with who you are than it is about looking like someone on TV or on the videos or on magazines.
Now, are you planning to write more books?
Yes, we actually have another book that I'm working on right now, and it's called Sailing. And I'm hoping to have that book out maybe at the end of the year, the beginning of next year. That story just came to me not too long ago. I heard a song, and from that I started writing. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well, and looking forward to kind of doing a compilation of some of the poetry that I've written in the past. And then also I have one other fictional book. I have an alter ego, which I call her Zephyr Rose, and she's a little bit more feistier than I am when it comes to writing. So I may do a few things under that script name as well.
Well, it sounds like it's keeping you busy.
It does keep me busy. And I work full time, so I wish this was my full-time job, but you know, that's my passion. That's what I do in my spare time, and I just love diving into characters and getting into the mind of the characters and people's feelings and, you know, what we go through on a day-to-day basis. One of the things people have said to me about the book, it's refreshing because they can identify with the characters. It's not someone that's, you know, way different from who they are. It's someone they can identify with and relate to. So that's what I love to do.
Well, it sounds like you did a great job of it.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to thank you very much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to doing many more.
Mesha Coleman has been telling us about her novel, A Big Girl's Blues. You can find it at your library and your favorite bookstore.